Good afternoon. This is the latest update on the now severe tropical storm Kai-tak, or formerly Bagyong Helen, formerly because it is now moving away from the Philippines, now moving into the West Philippine Sea or South China Sea, and threatens to make landfall across the southwestern part of Guangdong Province. The system was last located approximately 350 kilometers southeast of Hong Kong. Maximum sustained winds are now up to 110 kilometers per hour with gusts of up to 155. Kai-tak is currently moving west-northwestward at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour. JMA has upgraded the system to a severe tropical storm. JTWC and CMA, or China Meteorological Administration, on the other hand, have both upgraded Kai-tak to a strong typhoon. The latest satellite image shows you the central dense overcast of the system, and showing you how symmetrical it looks. It really intensified once it moved away from Luzon yesterday. If you remember, made landfall in Cagayan yesterday morning, and moved across Ilocos Norte, and then re-emerged back into the open waters here in the South China Sea, and has since then been intensifying at a faster pace. We haven't seen an eye yet on the latest visible image, although it has been trying actually in the past 6 hours. Satellite images depict the CDO and the spiral bands trying to form some sort of an eye wall there. The microwave image also shows the seems to be an eye trying to form under the cirrus clouds, again underneath the central dense overcast. System is far from Hong Kong to really bring significant effects. However, the system is forecast to get closer to Hong Kong, Macau, and even the parts along the southwestern coast of Guangdong Province. And current warnings from the China Meteorological Administration now up to orange warning for typhoon. So basically the third level in their 4-level warning system, basically saying that emergency units must mobilize, and that residents along the coast should start seeking safe shelter. Hong Kong Observatory, meanwhile, has upgraded the standby signal number 1 yesterday to a strong wind signal number 3, expecting winds of 40 to 60 kilometers per hour. Certainly not that strong, but could still cause some problems, especially for loose items, scaffolding, construction, and all that stuff. So some precautions also urged for residents here. But in terms of typhoon effects, not really expecting it for Hong Kong. However, the worst could definitely move across the province of Guangdong, particularly here in the peninsula, Leizhou Peninsula, and also the northern half of the island of Hainan. Right now, the infrared image showing the bulk of the system still offshore. However, we are starting to see some convection enhanced by Kai-tak appearing and forming across parts of Guangdong and even into Guangxi province. Also, the system continues to enhance the southwest monsoon, and parts of central and southern Vietnam actually starting to report light rains here. Now, in terms of the Philippines, the southwest monsoon has actually not been that strong here, and only a few stations reported 50 millimeters in the past 12 hours. So some very good news, definitely, especially for those areas that were hit by the system yesterday here in northern Luzon. And speaking of the rains in China, see the latest radar composite from CMA showing the bands of light to moderate rains and even some pockets of thunderstorms embedded in these rain showers, affecting parts of Guangdong and Guangxi, and even the province of Hainan. The island of Hainan. Haven't seen large rainfall reports yet, but as the system moves slowly to the northwest, we expect those rainfall amounts to quickly ramp up in the next 24 to 36 hours. As for Hong Kong, we're currently really seeing widespread rains here. Just some winds emanating from the circulation of Kai-tak, probably some isolated thunderstorms from the outer bands of the system tonight and possibly into tomorrow as the system moves within around 250 kilometers southwest of Hong Kong tonight or possibly tomorrow, depending on the speed of the system. Going back to the Philippines, just quickly here, showing the latest visible satellite image, and finally we are seeing good weather for the most part across Luzon. There are still some areas reporting around 50 to 100 millimeters of rain, particularly across the Benguet area, Baguio City, and also Lawag reporting around 50 millimeters. The island of Mindoro also reported around 50 millimeters, and due to the southwest monsoon, unfortunately the system of Kaitak or Helen left 7 dead, and at least 2 people are still missing, particularly here in northern Luzon, due to landslides and also the flooding. It's also destroyed millions of pesos of worth of crops and the northern Luzon area. Now, the rest of the Philippines here in Visayas and Mindanao enjoying quite fair weather, although we are seeing some clouds appearing here across eastern Mindanao due to a weak circulation, a tropical wave moving in from the east. It could approach Mindanao later tomorrow, and could bring some unsettled weather in this region. Not expecting widespread rains here, but certainly a change from the fair weather that we have been seeing in the past. And showing you the radars across Subic and Tagaytay from Pagasus Project NOAA, seeing still some isolated thunderstorms moving into the western parts of Luzon, particularly across Zambales and Bataan. Those are mainly isolated thunderstorms, and not expected to really affect much of the regions. Now, moving on to Visayas, also dry weather here for the most part, very isolated thunderstorms. In fact, the province of Bohol has actually reported very little rains in the past month, and farmers are actually getting worried of their crops basically being ruined due to the lack of rain, especially in areas where irrigation is non-existent, almost non-existent. Now, moving into Mindanao and showing you the lighter rains here. Very good weather actually, although again, as I said, the approaching wave from the east could spell some wet weather in the next 2 days here, so just be mindful of that. Kaitak, computer models are in good agreement, although the system has really defied forecasts for the past 3 days. Remember, the models were forecasting a track across Luzon Strait, but we knew Kaitak made landfall. Yesterday, if you remember, we were forecasting a landfall near Hong Kong. Right now, that track has shifted well to the west again, and they forecasting mainly a landfall near the Leizhou Peninsula. Also, if you notice here in this latest model tracks, some computer models are hinting of a possible tropical cyclone development in the next 2 to 3 days, well east of Luzon across the Philippine Sea. In terms of the strength, not really that strong, and based on the latest data, not expecting it to, if it does form, not expecting it to affect the Philippines, but still just keep in mind the potential of the tropical cyclone here. Now, the tropical wave east of Mindanao isn't really showing any signs of development. Computer models are not that optimistic into a development in that area, but again, if it does move west into Mindanao, expect some rains to affect the area there as well. Again, this time the tracks being shown here are from the forecasting agencies across the region, and as you can see, most of them are not expecting this system to not really make landfall in Hong Kong, but instead across the Leizhou Peninsula. So expect those strong typhoon force winds by tomorrow morning, or actually as early as tomorrow morning, yes, moving into the city of Shanjiang, and also parts of northern Hainan should also expect some strong winds and heavy rains in the next 24 hours. Now, the system will weaken to a tropical storm as it moves into Guangdong Province and perhaps move into northern Vietnam by Sunday, but by that time it will be a very weak tropical depression and should dissipate across the Vietnam or China border the next 2 days. And that concludes our video update for today. If you are in this area as mentioned, particularly across the province of Guangdong, need to closely monitor the developments of the system. Again, the system is forecast to make landfall as early as tomorrow morning, so be sure to stock up on supplies and just go to safe shelters, as the government has urged the residents there. Stay safe, guys. Bye.